We get so many questions over the course of our videos, and some cool comments too. I read each and every comment, and there's some I keep seeing again and again, so I thought I would just make one video to save everyone some time. We got all of our 10 questions right over here. I'm gonna go through each and every single one of them again, and yes, we will be going over our scoring system, because it's not clear to everyone. I get it. But first, this video is brought to you by Game Theory Tables. The reason we decided to partner with Game Theory Tables is not only for their gorgeous board game tables that make game night memorable, but like us, they want to bring the love of board gaming to as many people as possible. We personally met up with the GTT team, and if you use our link to get a table, it directly supports our ability to make more content for you. The holidays are here and they have some great offers. Remember to use the code Shelfside for a free layout. Now back to the video. Question 1. Your scoring system doesn't make any sense. Why do you say it's good and then say you don't like it? It's contradictory. Yes, okay, let's review our scoring and also review process in here. So when Daniel and I first made this channel, we were looking at some other YouTubers like Angry Joe and this guy over here. And we thought that, yeah, reviews should cover what the person thinks of the quality of the game, and then also having a space to explain their personal enjoyment of said game. For example, say that you hate all games over 2 hours. You just don't like things being too long. So you play one and you're impressed by it, but you still don't find it fun because it's too long. Is a review of you saying you hate it giving much value to others if you compress these conflicting ideas into one score? See, we're trying to remove as much bias as we can when scoring. We always use Wingspan as an example. Daniel and I both don't find it fun, but understand it's doing a great job for its specific audience. Daniel said that he'll defend that game to the death. If we go deeper into the recommender score, we say that it's critically evaluating the aforementioned pros and cons in said review. That means that we're taking the bullet points of the pros and cons we found, then seeing how each one raises or lowers the recommendation given the genre. Example time, of course, a pro for War of the Ring means that you get to relive so many trilogy moments with tons of characters, events, and locations. Just a huge plus that is shooting the score up. But to get there requires a monumental con task to decipher the almost purposely confusing rulebook. If we look at the dedicated Lord of the Rings fan or war game fan that would be buying War of the Ring, that monumental learning task isn't as detrimental if we were to recommend it to them, compared to, say, a family-minded player who was impulsing Catan at retail and having a rulebook as bad as War of the Rings. The second aspect of the recommender score is how well is the game doing what it's setting out to do. This also takes into account marketing, like the back of box info, or maybe stuff on the website, or even stuff on the Kickstarter page. Your game could be mechanically amazing. I don't know about this game, it's still in shrink, but if your game is not doing what it's set out to do, it's gotta get punished. Let's bring up Scythe. It claims it's a 4X, but it's not, so it must get punished. Inaccurate labeling usually brings down the score around 1 to 2 points. The third aspect of a recommender score is price, specifically MSRP. Is the game worth it for the components and replayability you get? Shorter games get punished more because they're shorter games. You don't want to buy a new game, play it 3 times for a total of 2 hours, and then can't play it again. And the final aspect of the recommender score is the game even a good idea in the first place? And this is to prevent random party games that may seem really good on paper from just getting all super high scores. Like there's this game called What's That Smell?, which revolves around smelling scents and guessing what it is. Probably not going to get too crazy marks. Anyways, if we break down the phrase recommender score, we're trying to see how good of a fit that game is for a stereotypical person of that target audience. So a low recommender score means it's bad for that person, but that doesn't mean it's necessarily bad for you. It's really all a fit thing at the end of the day. And to wrap it up, we want to show this score breakdown here. We used to show this in videos, but it just got a little too messy. And so if we look at 5 out of 10, that is average, not bad. Average. I know that school says 5 out of 10 is 50%, which is failing, but school is just rotting your brain. This is 5 out of 10 average, smack in the middle. Question 2, how many times do you play a game before review? The bare minimum is twice, and that's for games that are just long, so we just can't play them very often. For games we've only played once and make a video, that's not a review. That is a first impressions or impressions video. It's hard to make a review off of just playing a game once. Games are very complicated things. Usually we end up playing something at least 3 times. Since there's multiple player counts, I want to try out for the sanity of understanding the game further. For some Euro reviews I've done, I do multiplayer twice and then solo once. For campaign games, we like to get deep enough into the campaign to understand the world aspects, core story, and progression systems to talk about it in detail. That usually takes at least 4 to 5 sessions, but more often than not, we find ourselves getting carried away and playing half the game. Question 3, why do you spend so much effort on reviewing games you don't like? Ooh, okay, this is a fun one. So number 1 response to this is that sometimes Sometimes it's hard to tell if you truly like a game after playing it a couple times, and the more you play it, maybe you don't like it. Like, we've had games where it's amazing the first 2 times, and then on the 3rd play, something rubs you the wrong way, or you play with a certain player that breaks the game and it's not fun anymore. My second response is that it's fun. Yeah, it's fun to still go deep into something and find out what makes it work and what doesn't work. While we might not have fun playing the game, I can assure you that it is fun to make said content. And that is honestly most of the time spent on the reviews after all. Final point here is that I really enjoy giving more value to you guys, the viewers. So if it's a couple more hours I need to spend to make the review better, even for a game I don't really enjoy, the benefits to everyone pretty much scales exponentially as the videos perpetuate on YouTube and informs more and more people. There were so many times in the hobby where I would get a board game and I would spend so much time to understand how it works, get everyone together to play the game, and it kind of poops out. I really want others to avoid that experience, wasting your time and money, and your friends' time. And often it's not really that the game is bad per se, it's just that it's a bad fit for you. Question 4. Ugh, your reviews are so long. Why are they so long? Can you make them shorter? Well, this ties into the previous question where we're just trying to give a complete picture about the game. They're very intentionally timestamped below, so you can jump ahead to multiple segments or whatever is fun to jump around with. For me, I find it a fun exercise to go back to old videos to jog my memory and look at the cons, and then scoring, and then just jump around accordingly wherever I find is most relevant. Also, if you want something shorter, I am thinking about making more quick reviews where things are more lightning paced and more information is cut, but that is losing analysis. And as such, I can't really see it being a very common thing on the channel. If you're very stressed on time, I'm working to refine our written reviews more and more on our website and BGG, so you can just easily scroll down and find scores and read our recommender score thoughts. Question 5. Dude, are you okay? Why are you wearing so many clothes? Turn on the heater or something. Let me get the vlog camera to explain this. Okay, so this is something called a sunroom. This room we have converted into a little makeshift studio, but essentially it doesn't insulate very well, which means that when it's the winter or even slightly colder, it almost feels like you're outside here. Almost. There's no wind, but it does get a little bit chilly, so I like to wear my my beanie and also my jacket and sweater sort of thing. I mean, it's also just very comfortable to wear this. So that's basically, I think, all you need to know. Yeah, Daniel gets cold too. Okay, yeah, that's it. Question number 6. Is Daniel your brother or cousin? You guys look related. Nope, we're not related. Come on, man, we don't even look that similar. I mean, I've gotten mixed up for other Asian guys in the past, but never Daniel IRL. Question 7, back to a more serious one. How do you pick a game to review? Well, this one is very multi-factor. Number 1, the hypeness or popularity of the game, which is kind of self-evident on why we review games that would get views. Certain IPs do get a boost. Number 2, how is it to obtain the game? As in, can we borrow it from a friend? Can we buy it ourselves or get a review copy? Number 3, are there other friends who are interested in playing the game with us, or in the best case scenario, teaching us the game? Number 4, does the game look interesting for us to review? Like, is there a fun angle to talk about or some amazing joke? Number 5, how long would it take to play and review said game? Number 6, is it sponsored or not? Whoa, sponsored reviews? No, how can we trust your scores on sponsored content? Right, okay, so we do have to be a bit selective on what games to review because we do want to cover something that will pan out for our recommender and or personal scores. That way it works out for us and the publishers, because I'm pretty sure publishers don't really feel comfortable seeing a game review that is 5 or lower. Yeah, 5 or lower. This has led to, in the past, where entire reviews would be made and the publishers just didn't like our scores and we'd have to not publish the reviews and we'd receive some other compensation instead. This has sometimes led to the script not even being written and the whole entire process gets transformed into consulting. Our scores never ever get compromised, and it's something we always come up with ourselves. Plus, sometimes you see the includes paid promotion on the corner of the video, where YouTube policy necessitates we check a certain box if we received compensation in any way to make the review. It doesn't have to be monetary. Sometimes we just receive a review copy and need to check said box, and so the publishers are not officially sponsoring said video. We're working to make this backstory all very clear in the beginning of reviews. Anyways, if this whole thing makes you uncomfortable and you can't trust our scores and opinions, it's a totally valid take given the sponsor-heavy landscape of board game content. There's just an obvious conflict of interest caused by a paid review. I do feel like our analysis speaks for itself with our 2-score system, but of course it's always up to you guys, so if you don't want to watch, that's that's totally valid. When will you review Eclipse 2nd Edition, or Summoner Wars, or Nemesis, or John Company, or my favorite game? We're trying. We're trying. We just have so much to do here. There's always new videos, new ideas coming in through the pipeline, new people to work with. Yes, if a game is so popular with the audience, we do have to cover it one day though, right? The John Company Eclipse. Some other factors on delay are that these games are owned by a friend and we need to play with said friend. And so we just haven't gotten the time to do it. Reviews also take a lot of time, and I mean a lot of time for the bigger ones. Like for John Company, it's gonna take at least 12 or so more hours of gameplay just to make the script, and we already dumped at least 10 hours between Daniel and I. So I'm once again requesting your patience, and we apologize for the delays. Final question. Do you guys feel pressured to actively differentiate the channel from others, or do you just do your thing? This one was from a patron. I thought it was a cool one to include in here. So it definitely just started out as Daniel and I just picking whatever game we wanted. We'd go to our bookshelf and be like, bam, let's review that one. That one sounds like fun to review. Now we're obviously a little bit more mindful about what games we review, as said before in the video. It's not necessarily about standing out. It's more about making content that we would have wished we watched before buying games. The comedy content is just pretty troll and keck, and goes much more on a whim. Like the treadmill video that we came up with recently was just us talking on Rado's podcast, and we were like, oh yeah, board games and treadmills, why can't that be a thing? I do also have a list of comedy notes on my phone, and if they ever get fleshed out enough through shower thoughts or whatever, I just call up the boys and then make it happen. Usually the script ends up getting modified a lot through just video call sessions and then just shooting on set and also in post. But anyways, that's the end of the video. I really hope this could give you some more clarity and insight on our review process. And of course, if you find someone that's confused about our process, maybe you could link them in this video. Anyways, that's it for now. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching the video. That was just another one to start ending the year with. We do have a top gaming of 2023 coming very soon. It's going to be on New Year's Eve. So yeah, stay posted for that. Anyways, that's it for now. Thank you to our patrons for making videos like this possible. We got all you guys right here. Just thank you guys so much. This has been another year of Shelfside, and of course, another video to really wrap up the year coming soon. We also got all our Man That's Cardboard right here. And anyways, that's it for now. Let me know what more questions you have, and maybe I'll make another one of these. And don't ask about this room being cold, because it is sometimes. And that's it for now. Sub, like, bye, bye-bye.